Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 89 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we've got some really great houses. And in our second segment, we're going to tell you 10 things that have changed since COVID-19. I'm sure y'all got more.
Yeah, really.
We're doing 10 that we're going to talk about. I'm sure you've got 10 on your own.
Exactly.
Well,
What you been doing?
I moved this
You
weekend.
moved this weekend? How'd that go?
That was interesting. I thought I was really organized and I was ready, and I don't know. I had high expectations. Nothing wrong with the movers; they nailed it. It's just stressful. And I was telling y'all earlier. I said I still haven't had a haircut in a long time, and I put a cap on right before the movers got there. After I got out of the shower, everything was wet. And about 2 hours later, I walked by the mirror and looked, and my hair would gone boop, and it stuck straight out. It was huge hair, huge, so big. What have you been doing?
I turned my phone off on Saturday, afraid somebody was going to call me and ask for help. So I just.
Yeah, I had that under control, but thanks. It was all good.
I was trying to be there for you in spirit.
I did get your text. You have a good day, buddy.
I did.
Awesome. Thanks. Got it. It was good, though.
Good.
Yeah, it's done. Moving in, unpacked, probably 70%. But it's just, I feel like I'm tired all the time right now. It's like, whoo, that's a lot to work on. So I feel for everybody that has to go through it now. Makes you really appreciate what everybody that we work with on a daily basis goes through. So
well, and you know, we try to make it easy. I mean, we
do.
try to hook you up with good vendors and try to make sure that process is working out well. And you know, your move was really relatively seamless.
yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, what was so interesting is that the manager of the company showed up, and he walked in and he goes, "You need another truck." I was like, golly. So it was great that he was there, and before the guys needed it, they had shown up and dropped off the second truck. And so it made it seamless where we could get everything done, but it was a full 9-hour move.
Cool.
Yep.
Good.
So it was good.
And real estate market's kind of blipped back up this week.
I would say yes. We put a contract, worked that one out for my client from out of town, and then I think you got an offer just out this morning. We've been showing up north a lot, and it's tough. That market is tracking really well,
moving very quickly.
Yeah. So
yeah, we've some clients that we've mentioned before. They're looking either in Newman Ranch or Phillips Creek Ranch, and Newman Village, and Phillips Creek Ranch, and you know they've got some real specific needs, but they're not like weird needs. It's just they know how they want to live. They know how they live, and but we look at everything that's out there. So if you know anybody that has a home in that Frisco market in Phillips Creek Ranch or Newman Village that is coming on the market, we would love to talk to them about it.
Yeah, and I think that's what we can also see down here. Like early this morning, I was going through new homes that have just come on the market and was looking at Caruth Terrace, and I thought it was really interesting. I remember that place was like in the mid-2s, and now they're mid-5s, and I was like, wow. And there's not a lot of inventory, so there's a chance that seller's going to get that all day long for that.
Yeah, I was looking through MLS this morning, and there were about 6,000 homes in the last 7 days that came on the market or came back on the market, and there were about as many pendings in that same period. And so the inventory is not really the inventory is not growing like we normally see this time of year.
No.
So that's just going to continue to fuel the rise in property prices.
And the other thing too that I've noticed is that with the clients that we're working with, like we've got some that we're working with, and they're talking about how they need a second office now because both of their companies have said there's a good chance that they're not going to go back in. And so it's coupling, I need 2 offices because we're going to be working at home. It's considering blended families where you have multiple kids that come at different times during the month, but don't stay there the full time. And then if you go on and consider how much more backyard space you need just to get your toes in some green grass and relax, I think that these are a lot more considerations that people are beginning to make on what are we going to do, even after the vaccine happens, what are we going to do and how are we going to live in these homes post COVID-19?
Yeah, and we've got I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. We have an amazing opportunity with a house in Oak Cliff coming on the market later this week. And it is mid-century modern to the max. It is just completely retained all of the mid-century charm. It's got breezeway blocks. It's got it sits on 1.5 acres of land that is sculpted and manicured, and it's like walking into a park.
It was the owners were really great last night, and after we got done, we were drone photography for forever. I felt like at the house because we just wanted to catch it at the twilight and make it the best. But we actually walked down towards the back of the property where they'd brought in 58 tons of rock to create this reinforced walking meandering path that goes to this enormous 22-foot pergola with this 8-foot chandelier that's suspended. It's like nothing you have ever seen on the property.
It's crazy. It's one of those where the owner just went overboard. He did it the way he wanted it done, and he just went overboard with it. And
it's great taste.
It has such great taste. So we're going to be talking about that on our show next week. And we're going to have an open house on it this Sunday from 2 to 4. So if you would like to have more information about that, just ping us in the comments down there, and we'll send you the address on it. We'll have it live in MLS later this week, but we don't have all of the
marketing material
all the marketing material ready. But just ping us if you'd like to know more about that, and we'll make sure we get it to you. So
and there's also going to be a really, really cool video that we'll have featured on Sunday. That we think you're really going to enjoy. So if you don't see it on Sunday, we're going to bring it back next Wednesday as well. So Jeff, let's talk about some houses. We have 2 really great lease properties to talk about today. And we don't normally talk about a lot of lease properties, but one of these, we represent the owner on it, and we wanted to share that with you today. And the other one is just such another remarkable property. One of a kind.
That is one of a kind. I can honestly tell you, I've never been in anything quite like that before. And it is for lease.
Yeah, so, I got the text message about the second one that we're going to talk about before it came on the market. And I thought, I may have to bring this back on. So I'm really excited. And it did not disappoint.
Yep. So our first home is at 3536 Miles Street. And this is just in the northern Oak Lawn area, just off of Lemon Avenue. If you happen to know where Mario Sabino's restaurant is right there, it's just a block away from that. It's in a little neighborhood that has been has had a lot of redevelopment done by David Weekley. They have bought a lot of the apartment complexes back there and tore much of it down and have built a lot of new construction. This one was built several years ago, but is so convenient to everything that you might want to do. You are just right off of Inwood, which everybody knows comes over into Oak Cliff as a Hampton Road. You are minutes to the Dallas North Tollway going either direction. And you're really right there at the entrance to Love Field.
Yep, 5-minute Uber ride to Love Field probably, and then of course I'm going to talk about some grocery stores. So Kroger's and Whole Food right around the corner. And if you are a hop, skip, and a jump because you're probably coming through Uptown, you've got Trader Joe's over there as well off of I believe it's Hall. So this is one of those great areas getting in and around. You'd be able to get your car cleaned because there's several car washes in this area as well. So
you
no
can walk
reason
from
why
the
that
car
shouldn't
wash.
be done. One of the things about this property that we really liked at 3536 Miles is that it actually is gated as well. And a lot of times rentals don't come with 2-car garages, and this actually does come with a 2-car garage, which is really great. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It's 1724 square feet, and it's $3,000 a month. And this is just an example of what the front door is right here, and there's a garage. a really easy place to live in. And once we get inside, you'll understand what we're talking about, why we thought it was so important to bring this to the show.
Yeah, this is the entryway as you come in. It is a two-story townhome, which is rare. Most of those are three-story or four-story, but a two-story with the first floor being two really great-sized bedrooms and some really cool outdoor space. And then these bathrooms both share a full bath down there that has been done very, very nicely.
Yeah, what's really great is that it's a perfect roommate situation if that's what you wanted. It could also be multi-generational given the fact that this does open up to the outdoor space. 2 bedrooms, as Jeff said, down. Both do have walk-in closets, and the great thing is about this is washer and dryer is also on this first floor. Garage is quick and easy on the inside. This is an example of, or this is, I need to quit saying example. This is the bathroom that is downstairs. And we're going to next look at the outdoor furniture and the outdoor space as well. Pretty great.
Beautiful, and that is lit up so well at night. Again, another thing that you run into in a lot of townhomes in the Oaklawn area is they don't have this amount of outdoor space.
Right.
I mean, you've got plenty of room for a dog there.
So going upstairs, we've got a large open concept room that marries both the living room, dining room, and the kitchen, and these really great ceilings. They've done a good job of keeping the paint white and neutral, which is great because you see all of your accent furniture and art, as you can see what they've done here.
Yeah, this is the living room with the vaulted ceilings. The kitchen that is open to that living room does have a gas fireplace, really big, bright windows, and as Weston said, they've retained the white finish in the walls, and that just makes this room just bounce light.
And so many people today want that kitchen that's light and bright, and they have done that with this set of cabinets, and then they've also retained and replicated that in the backsplash.
And this is the master bedroom with the Juliet balcony off of the side there. Really good sized room. That's a king size bed. Really big room for a dresser. And then they have done an amazing job with this master bath.
This is one of those ones that you feel like you're in a spa, and it is the largest walk-in shower I have ever seen. I think you could probably fit 10 in there if that was be something. And then you also have a really great walk-in closet as well. So this is one of those amazing properties. Again, 3536 Miles Street, 3-bedroom, 2 full, 1 half, 2-car garage, and it is $3,000 a month, and it is available for move-in immediately. Yeah. So great house.
Great house. If you'd like to see that or have more information on it, just ping us in the comments there, and we'll be happy to get back to you right away.
Yep. So the next one we're going to move to, and this is going to be 2150 Alsport Drive, and this is in the farmers market. And the farmers market, if you haven't been there recently, is a hustle and a bustle. Yeah. It is amazing down there. The way that they've set out, I think it's Redonte's. Rubio's nursery down there is just like its own little park. Yeah. And then the farmers market itself and all the little restaurants, you almost don't need a kitchen because there's so much to do and so much to eat out there.
Yeah, and this is really like three blocks from Commerce Street, Elm Street, Main Street. So you have very easy access to any of those restaurants over there. There's the Main Street Park right there at that end of downtown. There is the Deep Ellum Dog Park that is right around the corner from this. That's an off-leash park. And access is amazing. As you can see, you can hit pretty much any highway you want, north, south, east, west, whatever.
Yeah, and we thought this would be such an important property because this property, if you have a house that you're building and yet you need large space, this would be a great one in the interim. If you are wanting to see if you like living in downtown Dallas, this would also be a great option. If you're relocating to Dallas and you don't know where you want to be, this is a great place. And once we get inside this house, you're going to understand why it is.
Yep. So this is a little over 3,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, 1 half bath, and a 3-car garage. And this is the park-like setting that you have right outside the front door. The pool is right there. You're not right on top of the pool, but you are just steps away from it. And as you can see, it's got a really great second floor balcony.
Now, before we get started describing everything that's in here, we also want to point out that this is for lease if you would like fully furnished. So that would be even more reason if you were coming in and needed this space. You can see here, this one is interesting because it's almost a multi-generational with the full master down. Now this is the bathroom, which is not quite master size, but that living space downstairs definitely is.
And as you go upstairs, you've got the kitchen, dining room, and living room on the second floor. You can see that they've used the really interesting combination of the marble and then the I lost my word.
The backsplash?
Solid surface on the back, which is the quartz product. Golly.
There you go.
But really cool light fixtures. I think this has 14-foot ceilings on it, 12-foot ceilings.
12-foot ceilings.
12-foot ceilings. That table is seated for 10,
Yeah.
but as you can see, you could probably sit 12 around that table pretty easily.
Now, the great thing about this, too, is it's got a really warm gray. Sometimes they fail on grays and make them too cold, but this is a warm gray, and the high contrast with the white and those plantation shutters really make it amazing. And you can't really tell. I had to walk around, but that is an enormous couch. So this is just a really large, lush living space, and upstairs is the master.
Yeah, and this master bedroom is really an amazing master bedroom. Hardwood floors. That's a king-size bed, 2 big oversized nightstands, and that flow into the master bathroom where you've got all of this extra countertop space, a full walk-in shower, separate tub, and an amazing master bedroom closet.
I know, they didn't have a picture of it, but when we went in there, it is the equivalent of almost the exact same size as the master bathroom itself.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And then if you've got additional bedrooms upstairs, this is one of them. And again, they didn't skimp. They have plantation shutters throughout. Really great warm color palette as well. This house is just an easy living house. So if you're looking for something in this area, I would think this is amazing. And wait till we get to the views of outside.
Yeah, the rooftop patio on this. Now those are electrically louvered covers on the top there. So as the sun changes, you're able to move those around and protect yourself or open them up so that you get more breeze through. And you've got plenty of room for a table, plenty of room for seating. There's outdoor kitchen that you'll get to see, and what amazing views of downtown Dallas.
It is a crazy view of downtown. So if this is something that you're looking for, want to get your feet wet in downtown Dallas, this is a great place at 2150 Alisport. It is fully loaded for $6,950 a month, and it's 3,200 square feet with a 3-car garage.
Yes.
You do not want to miss this house. And we want to say thank you so much to Trina and Jessica for letting us feature your home. It is a stunner.
It is a stunner. So great houses today.
Great houses. So let us know if those are something that you'd like. If you're looking at real estate, we know everybody does. We'd love to know what some of your favorite ones are. So in the messages, let us know, and we'll chime in and give you our thoughts.
Yep. So thanks for joining us, and stick around for our second segment, and we'll be right back.
There are lots of ways to keep up with us. Visit and like our Facebook page to watch us live and get updates about future show topics. Also, visit our Instagram account where you can see the latest homes we have for sale. You can also check out our website at updikepugh.com where you can create customized searches of active and sold homes that you may find of interest. If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, visit homeprice.fyi and you can get a price instantly. Just enter your address and a couple of other pieces of information and we will email you a price. If you are on the go and podcasts are better for you, our second segments are available on iTunes and Spotify. Last of all, you can reach out to us by phone or text at 214-377-2223.
And welcome back to the second segment of episode 89 of Sold with Updike Pugh. Today we're going to talk about the 10 things that have changed in real estate since COVID-19 has occurred.
Are there just 10, Jeff?
No, there's probably 100, but I thought people might be bored with that. So
Lasting behavioral changes.
that's right.
Golly, there's a lot going on.
There is. You know, one of the first ones really is how the whole showing process works.
Yep.
It is different in the fact that, one, we have some very strict guidelines that we are, as a company, that have been passed down that we have to do, and it's gloves and masks and, you know, making sure that there's limited contact in the house. And but the thing I like about it is we're doing it very safely.
Yep.
I mean, I feel very good about that process. We usually just have like one group in, one group out.
And the other thing too, I think that listing agents are paying attention to this and are doing their due diligence to get there ahead, and they're having all the lights on, and they're having closets open, and sometimes even if there's an entry into the garage, they're having that open as well, so that there's a lot less contact. Plus, we're leaving out those alcohol or the Clorox wipes now.
Yeah.
And so you can take one of those with you. You can wipe down as you go. There's just a lot more consideration and being considerate that we're seeing in these when we tour homes.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things too is there's the looky-loos aren't in the market right now.
No kicking tires.
Yeah, no kicking tires right now. It's they're serious. And moving on to point number 2, the virtual tours I think have become even more important now, and the quality of those and the use of those.
I think 100%. And we see, I believe, going through and looking at the analytics on a lot of the videos that we post for listings and whatnot, we see that there seems to have been an increase in the number of people watching. And we think that this is people doing their due diligence ahead of time to really weed out houses to make, is it one that we want to go see or is it? So when you load those videos up, they really do help buyers, and they really do kind of streamline the process. And I think that's what everybody wants. They want to be safe and minimize their exposure and their time.
Yeah, we were talking to our clients last night about the photography that we do, and it used to be that the photography itself was all we really had to do, but the photography wasn't always true to life. I mean, a photographer can make a room look really large or make it look really small.
Put that special lens on.
Yep. And so, that using the virtual tours, using the Matterports, using all of those other things has really become more important.
And the other thing too, another point that we're going to make is that the supplemental income that can be uploaded into MLS has become all critical, whether it's there on the property as like a package for them to take with them, or if it's MLS just for the agent to be able to download and then send over to buyers is really important.
Yeah.
And that supplemental income can be documentation
Mm-hmm.
can be the survey, it can be a seller's disclosure, repair receipts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's being used now to kind of build the pedigree for a house and make a buyer feel more comfortable about it.
Right.
One of the other things that's changed is kind of a consumer desire, and it is people are already planning that what if this happens again? And so, like the people we were talking to yesterday are, considering they both might be working from home for the near future or for the long future.
And how the dining room can no longer be the office
Right.
or the second office.
Exactly.
They're making considerations that are, this is the other thing too, is that, so what I thought was phasing out was a media room. Will the media room return? So we'll see.
That could be, yeah.
If you can't go to the movies and they're streaming things so fast now, so.
Yeah,
that's a side
very
note.
true.
Back to track.
Yeah, the other thing that I've seen change very dramatically is how we do open houses.
That is huge. That literally was one of the first things that just stopped, and it was not happening, period, the end. And then we've kind of created this protocol of how we're going to do it. How many are going to come in? What do you have to have just to be allowed to come in? Right. So times, I think the biggest thing about them is that the length of an open house has really changed. I think 2 hours is absolutely the max now. I think that 1 hour might actually be the norm now.
Yeah, and the one we're doing this Sunday, we have it kind of set up where, one of us is going to be at the front door and the other one's going to be kind of guiding people through the house. But we're going to, let people come in through the front door. They're going to get a chance to see the house, and then they're going to be able to go out the back door and get out in the backyard and be around. But then they're going to be exiting through the side gate.
Right.
So we can go ahead and bring other people into the house and not have people kind of backtracking and going through it.
Because it's a good sized house, but the deal is I can see easily how people could get congested. So like we said, once you're in the backyard, if you want to come back in, go back in line.
Yeah.
And nowadays on market.
Yeah, totally. That
totally different thing now.
You said it best the other day, and it was you're talking about how days on market has become less important of a piece of criteria.
It has, just because if people can't always get there to see the house as fast as they can, maybe financing is a little bit different, but that doesn't change the way that we have to change the price. Like 2 years ago, it was completely different. If something was on the market for 30 days, you're like, there's a problem with that house. And now, not at all. we don't really take that into consideration the same way.
And when they go under contract, the inspection process has changed.
Yeah, and I thought this was really, really interesting. So inspectors now have to make themselves even more available by video, by messenger video, whatever app that is that they're using, because a lot of them don't actually want to have exposure to the clients and be in the same house. And so what we see is that they're Zooming them in, Skyping them in on site, and then walking them through and showing them everything. Now, this also means that then we get to go over it with them, and then there could be follow-up. And so there's just a little more consideration and discussion that happens post-inspection than we did before.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just touched on the change in financing and how that has really become different. And, two things are, one is the forbearance, the consumer forbearance process now. So if you have a government-backed loan, whether it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA, the first stimulus bill that was passed allows homeowners to be able just to call their lender and say, I've been affected by COVID, therefore I want a forbearance, and that you don't have to make any payments for at least 6 months. Now, at the end of the 6-month period,
Right.
you might have to make all 6 of those payments at one time, but so a lot of lenders now, even at closing, you're having to sign a statement saying, I have no intention of asking for forbearance on this loan.
Well, the other thing too is that the lenders are calling your lender days before closing, asking for HR, and are verifying that you're still employed.
Yeah, totally.
So that is a lot different.
Yeah, and the closing process is really changed a lot. I mean, we were in this kind of the phase one reopening. Many of the title companies were doing curbside closings or trying to do as much electronic document signing as they could.
Oh, yeah.
And it's lightened up a little bit. I mean, you went through last Friday. You went through a face-to-face closing, sitting in conference room. Everybody had masks.
Everybody had masks, but we had already signed a bulk of the documents. And so what we were signing there was a lot of stuff that was needed for the lender, and then just what needed to be notarized for the county. But 2 properties were closed, and I want to say we did it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's totally different now.
Yeah. And our company says we can't even go to closings anymore.
Yep.
I mean, not anymore, but at least for right now.
Yeah, because just like the medical profession, there's only so many escrow agents that we have that can actually close the documents. And if they get sick, then it just makes it a situation where we're in trouble and we can't get those closed well.
Yeah, and it's been fortunate. I think one of the things that I've heard our CEO talk about is our company and the people in our company have been taking this so seriously. We have not had one single person in our company who is identified as being sick with COVID, and that I think says a lot.
Huge amount.
Yeah, and none of our employees. I'm sorry, that was the other part. Was none of our employees either. So, one of the last things that we think has changed is, have you kind of stopped receiving those postcards in the mail and stopped getting the emails from all the iBuyers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really changed. So we talked about iBuyers in a previous episode. If you want to go back and look at that, I thought it was a really interesting kind of nuance to what's happening in the real estate market. But all of that has basically vanished at this point. And our company did a really cool video on it, and we wanted to share that with you today.
At a time when people needed shelter more than ever, we witnessed every major iBuyer close their doors to our community. Within days of COVID-19's arrival in North Texas, these real estate investment firms that make cash offers on homes viewed your property as a financial risk they were unwilling to take. As opposed to iBuyers, we and other long-standing brokerages who've served you through times of great stress saw the real risk of this approach, abandoning you in the middle of a crisis. We may be competitors with these brokerages in real estate, but we thank them for standing with us in our continued service to you, our neighbors across this great region. As the state of Texas continues its phased reopening, and as iBuyers undoubtedly return to our market, we ask that when the need arises, you consider us to represent your real estate needs. In good times and in bad times, we are here for you, as we have been for the past 75 years.
And thank you for joining us today.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.